So while I was in the middle of my other video, I decided to start this video. So hi, what's up? Welcome back to our channel. Right now I am talking about my father and the findings and all those things. I am gonna call the medical examiner's office today because it was on Saturday. Or was it on Sunday? No, it was Saturday. So my brothers and I, we was on the phone. Like, we were all on video. And then my no, it was my little brother. He said, oh, the report came in. And my big brother said, yeah, it came in on your birthday. And I wasn't going to tell you on your birthday. And I was like, I don't care about that. Like, it's just another day. Like, suck it up, sister. Suck it up.
Medical examiner's office. This is Ashley. How can I help you?
Hi. My name is Alexis, and I have received the report on my father, and I was just wondering if someone can go over that with me.
Okay. Let me just bring up the same thing you're looking at so we can look at the same thing. Alright. What can I help you with?
So, I see it says environmental cold stress and the hypertensive cardiovascular disease. Just
Yes.
tell me about that.
Okay, so the environmental cold stress is just the body, wherever he was found, was extremely cold. So it puts extreme stress on the body and starts to make the body shut down. The hypertensive cardiovascular disease is high blood pressure. What that does is the high blood pressure causes the elasticity of the heart to harden. So the heart can't pump as well.
And so what if, like, he's in, like, if his body is stressed out, that has that plays a factor in his demise?
Right. So because his body was extremely cold and he wasn't able to generate enough body heat, it puts stress on the heart, which the heart was already stressed because of the high blood pressure. So it made it harder for his heart to pump.
So I see it says that he was 127 pounds. So was there a lot of mass loss in those 10 days that he was there, or is that like...
Yes. So they'll lose a lot of their fluid. So it's not so much mass, but all the fluids in their body is where the weight loss comes in if they've been down for a long time.
Okay. And on the so there was like nothing found in his like system? From the toxicology?
So yeah, they didn't find anything in his system.
And so just looking here. Now, would I be able to get pictures? Like,
so you can. You just have to fill out a special form, and have to give you a number to our division manager, and she can send you those forms.
okay. Let me get my notes. Okay, I'm ready.
It is 405.
And what I just asked them, tell them what I'm wanting.
Yes, just tell them that you're wanting the pictures, and she'll talk to you about how to go about that.
Okay. And question. So how long does it take? So that since his body was like so stressed, so I'm assuming like he just like passed in his sleep, just based off of how they found him. Well, they told me they blocked all that out in the police report, but
Right. So a lot of times when you're really cold, what it does is it makes you extremely sleepy. So it makes you want to go to sleep.
Okay. Does it take long to get in that like state, like stressed out from the cold?
It depends. Everybody is different. Everybody can handle the environment different. If a lot of times, though, if it's a long exposure, it usually doesn't take very long. And if you're not hydrated and things like that, it can also play a role into it.
Okay. So, so ultimately, so what were the, so just by the how he was found, that's what determined his cause of death, or was it like signs on his body?
So, a lot of it is also due to any type of past medical.
Oh.
Let me see what they. Anything past medical and things like that as well. If there's any type of. So because he's they saw that he had a history of hypertension and things like that. That's one way that we determine it. Just because we know what hypertension can do to the heart itself. So that's how, excuse me, that's how they were able to determine that.
Okay. On here where it says, like hold status 60 days, what's that about?
So anytime we do lab work and things like that, we'll hold it for 60 days. Usually it's longer, but just in case for some reason that, you know, another test needed to be performed within while the doctor's completing the case.
Oh.
If they didn't get answers, so then after that 60 days, then it's discarded.
Okay. So he got too cold and passed away, basically.
Yes.
But that was like the beginning of April. I thought we had some warm days. Yeah, in the beginning of that first week of April. The last week of March.
Let me see what it says. So he was last seen by coworkers in December.
Right. My brother and uncle, they spoke to him, and they was getting worried because they sent him some money at the end in the middle of March, and then about the time his brother sent him some money, and then my brother spoke to him at the beginning of March. So yeah. I mean, the family was in contact, but he was very, very secretive, and so that's why I'm searching for answers too, because he wasn't. I don't know anything about no medical or none of that. So yeah, we're just trying to figure it out.
So I know he had a history of hypertension and schizophrenia.
And that is what I was worried. Well, I'm not worried, but like my uncle was asking me like, what is this about? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I thought maybe you would know. And so I know that he basically didn't, so basically never slept. Like, he would go from 7-Eleven, work all night at 7-Eleven, and go to the spot where he was found. That's the store he was at, and basically just do that 7 days a week. Like, I feel like he exhausted.
A lot of that is the schizophrenia.
Okay.
It'll cause severe insomnia. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes they'll go where they won't sleep for days or weeks, and then all of a sudden they'll just crash for days. It kind of just all depends. Everybody's different in that. But the whole not sleeping type thing, that's definitely part of the schizophrenia.
Well, his last transaction was on April 1st, and then the belongings we got, he had like $320 on him. I don't know, because I saw a bill. His light bill was like $1,700. That would have been his whole pension, military. So I don't know, you know, like, yeah, he had that money, but he was just, but see, we didn't know this. And so yeah, it just really shouldn't have happened. I mean, he basically should still be here.
Especially if he was secretive, you know, he wouldn't really ask for help, or
like just so he just put everything into the store, and this is the outcome. So
like I said, a lot of that goes with schizophrenia too. It's called hyperfocus, where like you're talking about the store, they hyperfocus on one thing, and they just stay fixated on that, and then that's the only thing they can think about. The only thing they won't sleep because they think about it. It's just hyper-focused on it. Everything else will go to the side, you know, like the apartment, and I mean, anything else doesn't matter except for what is going on in their head at that moment.
Well,
and a lot of them won't throw anything away because they're scared if they throw something away, somebody will know what they're doing, or it can get pretty deep. They'll have cameras everywhere. They'll try to avoid cameras, like if they go into certain stores, and they do a lot to protect themselves. They stay quiet.
I collected his laptop, which I haven't been able to get into it, or his phones or anything. And on his laptop, his camera is like duct taped off. Like, you know, the laptop has a camera right up at the top.
Somebody can't watch him.
Yeah. So I just trying to figure out, like, well, see, I didn't know any of this. Like, he put all his money into the store and like his cars. That was it. Like, nothing else. So he had a few like cars, but that was it. That's all he had. I don't even, his whole apartment was filled with Monsters. Like, he didn't even drink. Like, it was just Monsters and like Pepsi cans and like cigarette butts and dog poop. But he was feeding his dog because the dog had a lot of food. I guess ultimately the dog just died in the middle of the floor and he never got rid of it. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. We fell out.
And the apartment didn't smell that?
No, the apartment had no smell. That is why I said, like, that, I'm talking, the dog poop was all through the garage, all through the house. I'm talking like the floor was covered. There was not a piece of poop. He had one room he may have been sleeping in, but there was no bed or anything that was blocked off, that there was no poop in there. But there was no bugs or anything. That's how I know. That's been there for years. There was no bugs. There was no odor. There was nothing. It was just like,
That means it's been there for a while.
yeah, there was the trash didn't stink. There was his house, it didn't stink at all. He had the vents taped off. He had the room where his computers,
another sign of schizophrenia.
Where his computers were, he had like foil along the walls, like not even the window, on the window too, but like just like lining the walls. And
yeah.
But I never, it's so strange because there was like we never knew any of this. I mean, like,
so he was able to keep his
home life
fears, right? Like he wasn't. A lot of people that are schizophrenia, I mean, you know, they're constantly talking about it. They're constantly paranoid. They're constantly. Somehow he was able to control himself enough that maybe when he was around people, it didn't come off that way. But like you said, when you go to the house and the vents are covered, there's tinfoil, that's all classic signs of schizophrenia. A lot of them have issues with vents. They always think that somebody's going to come through the vent, or some type of chemical is going to come through the vent and kill them. The tinfoil, and I'm not sure. I know it's just a lot of people that deal with schizophrenia have tinfoil like on their TVs, around their beds. I'm not sure what triggers that part.
And I asked his brother, like, did he, because I didn't know about the schizophrenia until I seen the report, and we were all looking like, what is this? Like, where is this? Because to us, he was normal on the surface. On the phone and stuff, him and, my brother had no idea. And, like, his brother, I was like, well, is there, like, a family history of this? And he's like, no. And I'm like, so that's when I said, I just wonder, is it lifestyle induced? Because, like, they're going from one store to another.
You also said he was in the military, correct?
Yeah. 20 years.
So, and he was back in he's back in the military. How old is he? Did you say 59?
He was 59, yeah.
Okay. He was in the military around the same time my mom was. So that has a lot to do with, when they first got in, I'm not sure what year he went in, but, they pumped them full of, all these different, smallpox viruses. I mean, a whole bunch of different antidotes. I'm sure he was probably even deployed at one point to either like Kuwait or, something like that. And they gave him, anthrax drugs. We have no idea if any of that played effect in some of these people.
Oh, okay. Never thought about that.
And that's a lot of things that they're trying to, nothing has been proven yet. They're still trying to do studies on all of that. When they pumped them full of these, malaria drugs and all these drugs, did it do something to some of these people's minds? Because, a lot of them came back with, like, PTSD and all kinds of other issues. That's a lot of schizophrenia and the mental health. Like I said, though, you had to have a lot of mental power to be able to have that diagnosis and not anybody in the family even know about it. Because it's I don't know if maybe he was medicated. He had to be medicated at some point in time because that's how we found out. So maybe he was being medicated and kind of going on and off his medications, because they'll do that a lot too, where they'll be on their medications and like, oh, I'm fine. I don't hear voices, I don't feel things, and they'll come off of it. But
in his apartment, we never saw, the only pill bottle we ever saw in his anywhere was vitamin B or D. Vitamin B. That was it. That was it. I never saw, I never saw a prescription bottle, and I see he never threw any trash away. My mom said he was.
Did he ever go to the VA?
To the VA? That's,
Yes.
I think so. I don't know. I just called them and they sent me, they told me how to get his records. But,
that's probably where we got all the information from. It's probably from the VA. So
that's what I'm gonna look at that too. I just don't see him since he was like, that was the last thing on my mind, because I would feel like he would not have went to the doctor for this. So
probably not. And he could have gone and been diagnosed and then said he was not ever going back.
Yeah. Okay, well, I appreciate you
it's a real struggle. No problem.
Talking to me, and
if you ever come up with any more questions, please call me.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye. Okay, guys, so you just heard what I heard. I wasn't expecting to be on the phone so long, but she told me a lot of information. I'm still struggling with the schizophrenia part because, like I said, like my dad, he was a shy man, he was a quiet man. Even people around him were like, yeah, no, well, my dad was secretive, you know, he did what he had to do, but he was just like to himself. And another thing is his license expired in 2008. Like, he wrote all his stuff down, like, not all his stuff, well, yeah, a lot of his stuff, he wrote it down, and his tags was expired, like this, like, but he was still out here obviously doing stuff. He was running businesses. So that's why for me the schizophrenia is more of a lifestyle induced, because I mean, I don't know how none of that kind of stuff works, but by talking to my uncle, and he's like, you know, this is news to him, and just like being involved with my dad, and like, you know, and nobody knowing anything, like I don't know if it's a stereotype that I like, because when I hear schizophrenia, I hear like, I have a different idea of that, but I'm realizing like that's not everybody's thing. And so that's why I really feel like, guys, I got mosquito bites out the ass. Whew. Anyways, that's why I'm really feeling like this was induced by his lifestyles. The monsters y'all seen. I don't know if you really saw the extent of all the monsters. Like, that was his diet, a monster and a freaking weenie from the roll grill at like On Q or 7-Eleven, and cigarettes. Oh my goodness, I am just saddened by this whole thing, because I cannot believe, like, and in the end, like, he was taken too early, 1, and 2, like he basically got himself in such a hole, and he didn't reach out, and like, well, he did only to like his brother, but he didn't do what he was supposed to do, or was said he was gonna do, get him a room, and that ultimately took him out. Like, that is sad. That's sad just thinking about. And I remember when I saw he had on all those clothes, and I said, so did he die cold and alone, like in this garage? Like, he just died by himself, alone and freezing. Like, imagine your loved one dying, like, just in the cold, just like, I'm so cold, and like, you go to sleep and you don't wake up. And he wasn't even homeless. Like, he wasn't even homeless. He He wasn't none of that, and he just instilled a cold, took him out. This was April 1st. That was his last transaction, was April 1st. I believe that he passed April 1st night. So early morning hours, April 2nd, maybe.
This is Carrie. May I help you?
Hi, my name is Alexis, and I was given this number to request some pictures.
Okay. Pictures are not open record, and in order for us to release those, we have to have a court order. Are you the legal next of kin?
He wasn't married or anything.
Okay, give me just a second here. And I'm happy to send you the template of the writ of assistance with agreed order and instructions if you want to go that route.
Okay.
And tell me your father's name. And the date of death?
He was found on 4/11/2021.
Okay. And let me get your email address.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. I will get that template emailed out to you here in just a few minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
So this is the thing. So they just make it hard on a nigga. That's fine though. That's fine. I'm gonna get these records, whether it's gonna be today or if it's gonna be a year from now. But trust, I'm gonna get these pictures because in my heart, I really want them. Like, in my heart. My husband's like, are you sure? Like, you don't want that to be the last image. I'm like, I am sure. I've never been surer. And why do they make it so complicated? Matter of fact, I'm my own attorney. What's up? Because I cannot. So all those people that say I don't do shit, I'm just good for laying on my back, I'm stupid, I have no education. Let me just tell you, I get shit done. Remember that. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for all the support on the channel. We're going up. Like, I'm not stopping. Like, haven't I proven that I'm not stopping? I'm not stopping. So you might as well just buckle in. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.